Fourth grade into math, lesson 13.5. Measure and draw angles using a protractor. I can use a protractor to accurately and precisely measure and draw angles. Step it out. Ricardo is a structural engineer who designs plate structures. He wants to find the measure of angle EFG. So if you guys notice up here, they started at E, then moved their way to F, and then moved their way to G, right? Now, could you have done GFE? Yes. Okay. But what had to for sure be in the label or in the middle of that label? F, right? Okay. So a protractor is a tool for measuring the size of an angle. How can Ricardo find the measure of the angle using a protractor? Okay. So over here, they're showing that he lined this protractor up with that angle. Okay. Okay, so letter A, find the vertex of the angle. Find the center point of the protractor. Place the center point of the protractor on vertex F of the angle. So what they did was they took their protractor and this little bitty dot down here along the bottom in the middle, they lined up with this little bitty dot right here. Okay. Then of course there's a line. Hey, you guys aren't messing with that yet. Okay. Like what I'm doing right now, you don't have to draw. Okay, that's okay. And then there's this little bitty line that comes out of that point F that goes this way. So they line that line up with F to G. Okay, you guys do that with your protractor. Okay, so we aligned our protractor up with the slide. Now we aligned it with the 0 mark on the scale of the protractor and then with our ray FG, right guys? We aligned it with this ray right here. Okay, because we're using the slide to use our protractor on, correct? Okay, so then we need to find where, so we lined up our protractor with FG, right guys? Now we need to see where FE goes across the protractor, okay? So first of all, we need to decide what kind of angle is that? It's an acute angle. Okay, so go ahead and write that it's an acute angle. Okay. Now we see where FE goes across our protractor. Okay. Where does FE go across our protractor? What two numbers? 30 and 150. Okay. But you guys just told me that that's an acute angle. So would we use the 30 or would we use the 150? The 30. So what is the measure of angle EFG? 30 degrees. Don't forget your label. Stepping out, number 2. Ricardo wants to sketch a new slide for the playground with the angle formed by the bottom of the slide and the ground, measuring 38 degrees. How can he use a protractor to draw the angle of the measure? Okay, so he went ahead and already drew a ray for what? For LM, right? Okay, so over here, I'm going to go ahead and draw my ray for LM. So how am I going to get that straight? What am I going to use? I'm going to use my protractor and use my straight edge, right? Okay, of course, I can't put the protractor up on the board, but you can put the protractor on your paper, right? Let's go with where we have a little bit more room. Let's go down here, okay? So I'm going to use my straight edge on my protractor and draw my ray LM. Okay, so once again, like I said, I can't put the protractor up here, so I showed you guys under the elbow how to do it with yours, right, with a piece of paper. So then I used my protractor, and I went up this way a little bit to find 38, marked it with a little tack mark, then took my protractor and used the straight edge again, right? And then I drew my other ray coming through it. And then what did they want this other ray to be labeled, guys? With K. And then what was the measurement of my angle? 38 degrees. Okay. Check understanding number 1. Use a protractor to find the angle measure. Okay, so you might have to turn your paper some, right? Okay, so where are we going to put our center point of our protractor? What point?
On the F.
On F, right? Okay, and then it's up to you. You can either align the bottom with E or you can align the bottom with D, okay? So let's go ahead and just align the bottom with D, all right? Okay, and then you're going to see where the ray FE goes to. Now, before you do that, you tell me, is that an obtuse angle or an acute angle? It's obtuse, so go ahead and write obtuse. So your angle should measure more than 90 degrees, correct? Okay, but less than 180, right? Okay, now on your protractor, the flat part, the straight line, how many degrees is that?
90.
Straight line, use your arms, is what? 180, okay? So, can it ever go past that? No, the only way you could do that is if you reset it and then add some more degrees, okay? So, on using a protractor, it will not go higher than 180 with these protractors, okay? Okay, so after measuring it and using our paper, we came up with how many degrees, guys? 115 degrees, okay? Number 2, use a protractor to draw an angle that measures 65 degrees. Classify the type of angle you drew. So, what do we need to do first? We need to draw an, what do we do up here? A ray, right? Okay. So, I'm going to draw a ray. And we have to come up with our own letters. I'm just going to use A, B, okay? Then they want it to be how much? How many degrees? 65. So we're going to use our protractor and then draw that. Okay, so we drew that with our protractor, and what's going to count? So like I said, I can't put the protractor up here myself, so I'm just going to kind of draw where we got it, right? And so we had our ray come to about here, and then we labeled our new point C, and then what was the measure of our angle, guys? 65 degrees. So we need to rewrite what they did over here for the swing set. So we're going to say measure of angle, what? What's the name of our angle, guys? A, B, C. And could we have also done it as angle CBA?
Yeah.
Yes, just as long as what had to be in the center? The B, right? Equals what? 65 degrees. On your own, number 3, use tools. The park department must order a new slide with an angle under the slide that measures 30 degrees. Use a protractor to find the angle measure formed by the underside of the slide and the playground. Write each measure, then circle the slide that the park department should order. Okay, so we're going to use our papers to figure out which one has our 30 degrees. Okay, so first of all, we identified each angle in slide A and slide B as acute angles. So when we use our protractor, we knew we would use the smaller number that the arrow pointed to and not the larger one for an obtuse angle. So for measure of angle BCD, we came up with 35 degrees. And then for measure of, we said 35 degrees. For measure of angle GEF, we came up with
30 degrees.
30 degrees. So which slide would the park department want to use? Slide D. Okay. All right. 4 and 5, we are going to use our protractors and line those up, and then decide what our measurements would be. What type of angle is number 4? Obtuse, because you can tell it's more than 90, right? What about 5? Obtuse as well. So, are we going to use the smaller number on the protractor or the larger number? The larger number. Okay, so number 4, we that if we take our straight edge, which like I said, I can't put up here, but I'm going to make it the best I can, we extended this line out. So then when we used our protractor, it just went straight across the line that we needed, and we didn't have to guess where it was coming to. So what did we come up with for number 4?
100 degrees.
100 degrees. Okay. Then over here for number 5, we went ahead and used our straight edge and extended this line out so we could figure it out and have it go straight across it. What did we come up for number 5? 150. Now our straight line did come across some lower numbers, but we decided not to use those because those would have been what type of angles? Acute, and we needed obtuse. Number 6 reason, Paul uses a protractor to measure angle HIJ. He says the measure of angle HIJ is 70 degrees and that the angle is obtuse. How do you know if his answer is correct? So let's start here. Is he correct with it being an obtuse angle? Yes. 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 You can tell that it's more than 90 degrees, right? Yes. Show me with your arms what a 90-degree angle is. Like this, right? Okay. And is it more like this for his angle? Yes. So we know that's an obtuse angle. So he's correct with that. But is he correct with his 70 degrees?
No.
No, because an obtuse angle is what?
It's
More than 90 degrees, right? Okay. And then less than 180. So let's find his correct angle. So with your protractor, make this line longer. Take your straight edge and make that line longer so it runs right across it. Okay. Then you're going to put the center of your protractor on what, guys? On I. Okay. Your straight edge goes out to what? H. All right. And then where guys, you should be using your protractor. Where does your line cross for where does your ray IJ cross on your protractor? Okay, well you guys still have 70, but we can't use that because it's acute. So you need to use the bigger number. So what is the bigger number? 110 degrees. So he should have written 110 degrees, right? So he's not 70, but he used the acute measurement, not the obtuse measurement. On your own, number 7, use a protractor to find the angle measured. So they want us to find the measure of angle E. So where are we going to put our protractor? The center on E. Put the straight edge going to K, right? Okay. And then you can extend this line for, use your straight edge, extend the line for E, and tell me what the angle measure of E is. Okay, so first of all, we should have identified that that is what type of measure? An acute, right? So you're going to use the smaller number on your protractor. What did you get for your degrees? 65 degrees. Okay, letter P. What type of angle is letter P? It is an acute as well, right? Okay, so go ahead and use your protractor and figure that out. Okay, so we put 65 back up here, but is that going to work, guys? No, what should it have been? 60. So we had our papers turned just a little too much and then we got off. So is that sometimes easy to do?
Yeah.
Yes. So you need to make sure that you double check yourself before identifying the number and make sure everything is in line. So what did you get for P?
60.
You got 60 degrees again. Okay. Let's look at letter K. What angle is that? Is it going to be acute, obtuse? Acute. Okay. So go ahead and measure for letter K. Okay. So letter K, what'd you guys get? 60 degrees. And now that makes sense, guys, because for a triangle, if you measure all the angles together on a triangle, you should get 180 degrees. So if I did 60 plus 60 plus 60, what would I get? 180 degrees.